All right. Welcome to Welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric, and we're playing another of Dev's decks. This week, Dev is not on the budget side of things. He is going competitive, and Sultai Muldrotha is one of the first competitive decks he's got for us here. This is a very mean deck, and I mean, come on, let's get one thing just right out of the gate. No one wants to play their cards only once, right? I mean, come on. Sultai Muldrotha in general will let you play those cards more than one time, sometimes 3, 4 times, just depending on what it is, and we've got a lot of great cards to play over and over again. So, if you do like tonight's show, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you want to check out Dev's Dech Tech, there's an I in the top right-hand corner there. You can click that, and there'll be a link there to check out Dev's deck. Also, we had a really good run with the Black-White Vehicles deck by Justin Clay. If you guys want to check that out, I posted that earlier today. It was very good. We fought against a red deck, and Lyra was absolutely key. I don't believe we would have gotten anywhere without Lyra. So either way, there's a couple of new videos out there for you. Go give those a look, and let me know what you think in the comments. All right, guys. Man, let's check out Dev's Sultai Muldrotha. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? What do you guys think about this? Like, let me know in the chat there. You know, what do you guys think about this deck in general? I mean, you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What do you think about Muldrotha? Right, like Muldrotha in general. Like this card. Let's point to this really quick here. Muldrotha. Like this card is just first off, it's a very interesting card. I mean, it's 6 mana, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 black. During each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. So you could play a creature, you can play an artifact, you can play a planeswalker, play a land, play a enchantment. Is that the one I missed? I think so. Yeah. So like you can play each of those things every turn. So one of the things that I really wanted to do with Muldrotha was just have a ton of mana. Now in Dev's deck here, we don't actually have the option to just have a ton of mana. I think you would need something like Mending of Dominaria to be able to do that. But for the most part, we've got a really, really good backbone to this deck. Now I do want to point out really quick here that Muldrotha is not a cheap deck. This is about a $300 deck. Well, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on where you get it. 190 tickets online. It is a very expensive deck, and there's good reason for that. We've got some expensive cards in here. And one of those is we're running 3 copies of Vraska's Contempt main board. We've got 4 copies of Fatal Push, Chart of Course, Seeker's Squire, Champion of Wits. You know, these are all ways for us. These are our milkshakes, you know, if you will, our milkshakes here. We've got Chart of Course, Champion of Wits, and Seeker's Squire. Champion of Wits is probably one of the best milkshakes because it lets you throw something from your hand. Chart of Course gives you that same ability, but you can actually use its second main phase after you've swung with one of these creatures that you're pretty okay with losing. That, you know, you can then use Chart of Course to just actually put more cards in your hand if your graveyard's already stocked, or maybe you're not on the Muldrotha plan yet. So, Seeker's Squire, this particular slot, Dev was talking about. This slot was going to be used either by a Glintsleeve Siphoner or a Merfolk Branchwalker originally, but Seeker's Squire with that 2 toughness is exactly what you want right now. I mean, with the Goblin Chain Whirlers and things like that, you really need to have that additional toughness. So I like his decision to go with Seeker's Squire, and I think a lot more people that are running the Sultai decks that are running maybe the Branchwalker, you might end up wanting to give Seeker's Squire a shot here. It is a very good card. It's not as aggressive, but just keeping the card around to live just a little bit longer can buy you that time to get into the later game. Now, if you are playing a more aggressive deck, which this is really not, even though it has some aggressive lines in it, if you are playing a more aggressive game, I do recommend the Branchwalker because it is a more aggressive creature. But if you are trying to get into turn 5 or 6 or even 7 or 8 before you're actually going to have your deck just really take over the game, then I think that Seeker's Squire is the better card here. just because of the bigger body. All right, moving on up the curve here, we do have Thrashing Brontodon. 3 copies of Thrashing Brontodon. I really like this card. This card has proven itself to me time and time again. Originally, in some of my original testings with Sultai Reanimator, I was even trying, a couple naturalizing things, but Thrashing Brontodon has become the card that is just phenomenal in this spot. Does take care of what you needed to take care of. Lives through, lightning strikes. It requires both, lightning strike and something like a Goblin Chain Whirler to finish it off, and even at that point there's normally a target for it that you can usually pop something. Even the floor on this card is you just have a 3/4 beater for 3, which passes the vanilla test, and that's pretty good. So if you can produce the green mana, I think that more Thrashing Brontodons more Thrashing Brontodons should be in the deck, so or in your decks. Bane Whip Punisher. Now this is a 3-drop that works a lot like Ravenous Chupacabra. Now it doesn't work really good against +1/1 counter decks. Like if they do have +1/1 counters on it, then you're not actually going to put a -1/1 counter on. You're just going to remove a +1/1 counter. So then its sacrifice ability wouldn't actually do anything. And if you don't have a creature with a +1/1 counter on it, you don't have a legal target. So I don't think you can actually put it on the stack without something with a -1/1 counter on it. I would like to see at least one Ravenous Chupacabra in the deck, just in case you run into those type matchups. But for the most part, if we can avoid +1/1 counters, we should be okay with the Bane Whip Punisher here. It's still a good card for the same price as Ravenous Chupacabra, but it has the ability to sacrifice itself, so you can start playing it over and over again. Once we get a Muldrotha down, it could be really, really good. One copy of Gonti, because I mean, let's face it, if you're going to be bringing something back over and over, why don't we get some card advantage out of it? And Gonti does just that. So I'm a big fan of Gonti here. And then Liliana, you guys know that I'm a fan of Liliana. He's running 3 copies of Liliana and only 1 copy of the Scarab God. Liliana's negative ability in most situations is just, reanimate this creature. Dev talked about there being a soft lock here. If you can get Liliana and Muldrotha down, it creates a situation where they need to exile one of them, and if they can't exile one of them, they pretty much can't destroy either of them, because if, they get rid of Liliana, you can use Muldrotha to bring it back. If they get rid of Muldrotha, you use Liliana to bring it back. And I think that particular lock is really, really good in the late game. But what Dev mentioned would be one of our biggest finishers is not the Scarab God. It's actually going to be good old Walking Ballista. Big bad $30 a piece machine gun here. Walking Ballista is just a great card. We see it in so many decks, but in a Muldrotha deck, you can actually cast this as your artifact and then still cast a creature. So Walking Ballista does fit both bills there. I really would like to see Muldrotha with some enchantment creatures or something like that. If there was an enchantment creature in Standard, we would be able to play it, play a creature, and play Walking Ballista or an artifact creature. We could have a lot of fun with something like that, and I think that would be really cool. So if you guys are playing around with Muldrotha maybe as a commander in one of your EDH decks, do remember that interaction is there. In the sideboard here, Dev's got 4 copies of Duress Force, 3 copies of Negate, that's pretty much standard. If we look at the Sultai mid-range decks that have been popping up lately, they're running 4 and 3 here. These cards are just flat out just great cards, and they are exactly what you need to defeat the blue-white decks. Now, you're also probably going to want some card advantage here, and if they just simply destroy this with their Thrashing Brontodon or something of that nature, you can just play it with Muldrotha, and once you have it down, if it comes down to it, you can do things such as destroy this with your Thrashing Brontodon to avoid it being exiled or something like that from a cast out, or maybe your Brontodon. It will give you a target. There are some crazy interactions I've run across there. Andrew G, long time no see. How you doing, buddy? Vraska is terrific in the deck and works kind of the same way that Liliana does. Once you get it down, you can just play it, neg 3, and then next turn neg 3 again, play it again, neg 3, neg bag 3 again, and that will actually even produce treasure tokens for you, which is pretty interesting. I do like that. The last few cards here are an extra copy of Gonti and then 2 copies of Yahini's Expertise. I was personally running Yahini's Expertise in my version of the deck and ended up changing over to Phyrexian Scriptures, because there's really no way in this deck to be able to kill something like Carnage Tyrant. So Phyrexian Scriptures does work there. Carnage Tyrant is going to be a little bit risky. So, I mean, like, if we run into Carnage Tyrant decks, we're going to have a little bit of a problem. We do have some Gontis and things like that, so, I mean, we can just try to outvalue him and stick enough bodies in front of him to go from there. But we can just use Muldrotha if we have a Liliana. Put Muldrotha in front of him, and that would kill a Carnage Tyrant. So, Dev said in the previous video that milkshakes bring the boys to the graveyard, right? Yeah, milkshakes, because they bring all of our boys to the yard, right? It just means that it's a card that pitches stuff in the graveyard. The last card in the sideboard here. Now, Dev said when he was originally trying to build this deck, he was using a lot more energy, and this is one of the holdovers from energy, and I like it. Because it's an enchantment, it gives us something else we can cast from the graveyard, so, you know, if those creatures end up getting killed and things like that, then we can then move this to something else once we have our Muldrotha down. So, that is the deck. I'm going to switch over to chat. We're going to give some shout-outs and then get into a game, guys. Let me get that. Let me get that changed over here. Bam! There's the chat. What's up, guys? How you doing? How you doing? Magic Hefe. Ironically, that worked. What? Carnage Tyrant is really... Yeah, Carnage Tyrant's going to be bad. What's up, Madness? Hefe. Andrew G. I already gave you a shout out there, but welcome, man. It's good to see you. It's been a while. Andrew Peltier. They shake up the hand. They shake everything up. The milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard, right? That's where we want them. We need milkshakes to pitch things in the graveyard. Deb's going to make that a stick. I'm going to help him. I kind of like it. We need a little more comedy in Magic. I mean, it is a little dry from time to time. The JR, what's up? The Junior 7360. It's not a bad idea to cut Scarab God. I mean, it's Scarab God. Well, I don't know of a card named Scarab God. There's the Scarab God. So I do like the Scarab God, and having a copy of the Scarab God in the deck is, I like it. I don't think that you should be running blue-black without at least some access to it, especially when you're running this many creatures and the plan is to bring them back from the graveyard. And along with all the milkshakes we have, and we have some of the best creatures to bring back, so I do like it. Nightbot's going to get you the Scarab God. Oh my, the Scarab God, Andrew Peltier, knows its full name. Come on, be eternalized by his glory. Nightbot, you corny. Anyway, what's up, Raymond, Adam, Steven, Jareth Miles? What's up, Jareth Miles? I know a lot of you guys were in here earlier, and very sorry about that. We were... I had actually set it for 9, but apparently I set it for 9 in the wrong time zone, and yeah. So it was posted for 8, but Steven, Madness, it goes down as the DM. Has anyone heard from MTG? The Wall, 200, what's up, man? Hype, right? Lamp's still here, man. Lamp is a thing. Who else we got in here? I know we got some other people. Michael, Dragon Lord, he was here early. Thomas... Jamflex. Jamflex wants me to do the Kennel Fiend deck. Man, that was the last of the budget decks. I just couldn't take budget anymore. Oh, it just hurts so bad to play budget. Like, oh man, like right now the meta is just not friendly to budget decks. Our current decks are just so powerful. You know. They're extremely powerful. I just don't think that you can get away with budget right now. I mean, the first time you run into one of these expensive decks, and there's a lot of expensive decks, so I can't even say that it's a pay to win type of situation. There's just a lot of good cards in the meta, and there's normally when the prices of Magic go up, that means there's more people wanting these cards and more people playing Magic. So we got to initially see it as a good thing, but also I think that they cut their printing a little bit. I was watching Rudy, and I think he said something about they cut their printing. So, that meant that some of the cards are a little bit harder to access. They're a little bit more expensive and things like that. So, OF Rush, the Gaming Tiger, what's up, guys? Anyway, Dane Lawson, how you doing? Here for the support. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Should be 4-0. What? You went 3-1. You should be 4-0. How'd you like that deck, Rush? Huh? I know you're playing the. You need Chandras, man. Yeah. If you had Chandras, you'd have been 4-0, bro. That's all it is. But I am assuming that you top 80 with a 3-1, right? Or do you just play those rounds and go home? All right, let's see if we can get into a game here. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a big fan of big fan of Taco Bell myself. I know it's not real Mexican food. I lived in Arizona where you could get real good Mexican food, and the entire time I lived there, I rarely ate at Taco Bell. But that XL burrito, man, ooh, that was some Diablo sauce. Their Diablo sauce is a little bit weak for me. I'm personally a Tapatio fan, but you guys like hot sauce, spicy foods? Yeah, Hefe, Wizards is still listed as but yeah, it can win. It can win. Raymond, wash your mouth. All about that Red Robin. We don't have a Red Robin around here. Tapatio, right? That tapa. I messed that up, right? I butchered that. Butchered the Tapatio. Man, why don't we have an opponent? Finally found your new deck, so that is so much fun to play. Green, white, angels, and good stuff. Oh my goodness, OF. We have been whooped on stream by that deck like 3 or 4 times now. Every time I run into the green, white, good stuff deck, I just get murdered. Are you running the Druidic Vow in yours? The bird? You're a KM for the bird? The bird. Okay, well, we've got 3 lands here. We've got Walking Ballista. Personally, we can put Walking Ballista in the graveyard early. That's fine. Chart of Course is fine. I like this hand. I'm going to keep it. We can play our Fetid Pools on 1 and then just come in tapped on untapped on 2 and 3. Get a Champion Wits down. Chart of Course. A lot of good action here. He mulliganed to 5. Oh my goodness! I mulliganed to 5 against Red Deck today, playing Justin Clay's deck, and oh my! I was like, oh, we're dead. He kept 7 cards. We're dead. And then he's like, turn 1 Bomat Courier, and I was like, oh no, we're going down. This is gonna be bad. Oh, this is gonna be horrible. And I was saying it, in my recordings and everything. I was like, oh, this is bad. We've mulliganed to 5 on game 2. He won game 1. And then Lyra. Oh my goodness. That's all I've got to say is just, and then Lyra. Lyra came down and just went to work. I'm interested in playing this Walking Ballista right here. If for no other reason, I just want to push some threats. I don't really need more cards at the given moment. We're going to be casting the Champion of Wits next turn, and if we can get him to cast something like an Essence Scatter or something to just stop this turn 1 or turn 2 Walking Ballista, then I'm good with that. More than likely, he's just got like a Fatal Push or something like that. But you're running the Galta Lyra and Angel of Sanctions. Wow. Wow. I bet that is fun. And just overrunning people, right? Look at this trial. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent sacrifices a creature. That means he's going to give us the options of which creature we're going to be sacrificing. I just shot him for 1, and then, oh no. So one of these has got to go. I'll go ahead and keep the second black source here, and then we'll just Champion of Wits. Champion of Wits, we'll probably just get rid of this Botanical Sanctum since we can get all the way to 5. It just depends on what we draw. Oh, nice. Definitely think I'm getting rid of this Botanical Sanctum, and I want to say Muldrotha, right? But if he has counter for my Liliana, then it's going to be really hard to get Muldrotha back. I think I just dumped the other Champion of Wits here. I know that we could have cheated Muldrotha out a little bit early, and if it was against any deck other than something like a blue-black control deck or a blue-black deck, I know that he's probably got some cartouches or something like that so that he can get his trials back. Well, you can cheat Muldrotha out against, like, if we would have been against red deck, I would have just thrown Muldrotha away right there. And then next turn, it would have been really easy for us to just... We can chart a course and cycle here. Yeah, I think that's the route I want to take. So we're going to go attack. And then we will just draw a card. Or draw 2 cards, actually. I mean, I could use this as a milkshake, but right now I want a little bit more card advantage. You beat the red-black vehicles deck. Nice. Well, we were talking about that, Rush, that Jund deck just doesn't even realize that the vehicles decks are even in the meta. It has such a good matchup versus those decks that they're just really not that much of a threat. Right, so I guess we stick to the plan and Fetid Pool here. Yeah, we'll cycle a Fetid Pool. Merfolk Trickster. Well, that's cool. That is cool. I guess he cartouches this to kill the Champion of Wits here. Gets back his trial. Wrong cartouche, my bad. This is pretty decent because if we get to our Bane Whip Punisher, we can just kill this fairly easily. Let's go ahead and take some damage. Now he definitely has the option here to just trial of ambition again and just make us sacrifice this, but I think he's wanting to hold some mana up here. There's a Fatal Push. That's going to be pretty decent, guys. Almost good enough that I don't want to play Liliana until after. I just don't want this flying 3/3 to smack my Liliana, so I think I'm going to go with my Ipni Rivulet, Champion of Wits, and hold up the Fatal Push. We'll just say yes, and we're going to discard. We do need to keep one of these lands, so I can discard Chart a Course because, like, we do have plenty of action here very, very soon. So we'll go ahead and do 2 points of damage. At least keep racing the opponent. Would love to see the opponent, like, make us, I don't know, just use that mana. Just tap that mana. Although, if we go to Fatal Push this, and he negates that, then that's just more likelihood, Okay, Johnny is the truth, by the way. So smooth and green-white. You got a Watley in there. I think Watley is terrific. He just didn't swing. Alright, well, I'm definitely going to go for the kill here. And I'm probably going to play my Muldrotha before I actually play the Liliana. So, I mean, he does need to, like, try to counter this if he can. He's stuck on 4 mana. We're at 6, so he's missed two land drops so far. You always bait the counter before your power card. Well, the Muldrotha would actually be the counter bait. So, if we cast the Muldrotha, then if he counters that, then we can easily, bring that back with Liliana. And I could also just play Liliana and then next turn play Muldrotha. Is it Liliana first or Muldrotha first? I mean, I don't expect him to have Censor. But technically we could play around the Censor with Liliana. Oh, the pump fake. The pump fake. Worst case scenario, we're just going to beat him to death with a Seeker Squire and a Walking Ballista here. Okay. Alright. That's a fair trade for us here. Okay, so, I am going to go with a Muldrotha. Just drop the... is it Lily or is it Muldrotha? If he counters or gets rid of Muldrotha, next turn Liliana, but the counter that will stop one is not the counter that will stop the other. It's very possible that he can have either. I think it's Muldrotha. I really think it's Muldrotha. Let's go black. I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. Just going to quit trying to talk myself out of it and just play the Muldrotha. If he counters it, we'll just see what happens next turn here. I am expecting that Essence Scatter, though. Syncopate. It has been exiled. Syncopate for 1, guys. It should have been Liliana. That was so heartbreaking. Oh, that hurts so bad. Right? Get you the extra body to swing to. We should have played the Liliana. Should have played the Liliana. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. Got blown out for not playing the Lily first. You had a feeling? We all had a feeling that we're about to get blown away. I guess we go for it here. Now he can syncopate for much more. Do you have another Syncopate? Syncopate's such a good card, guys. Now, this just gets Vraska's Contempted, I assume? Well, we're still pushing damage. Counter spells are bullying, okay? Let people play Magic, okay? You're right. Hey Eric, thanks for running your deck. No problem, man. I had a lot of fun with it that time, and man, I thought when we mulliganed to 5, Justin. I know you went back and watched it, but man, I thought when we mulliganed to 5 there in Game 2, I was like, oh, it's over. It's over. This red deck is just going to run over us, and it didn't happen. Thankfully, it did not happen, but whew, Lily can win. Lily can win. If he doesn't have an answer for Lily, Lily can win. Land next turn also brings back Champion of Wits, and when we start bringing back Champion of Wits, things are going to get great. He does have to hit Lily here because we've got the Scarab God in the graveyard. We've got another Champion of Wits in the grave. We're probably going to end up pulling another Lily here really soon. So, got a champ to bring out of my yard too. Exactly, we've got 2 in the yard, and we've got the Scarab God. So we've got some really good stuff in the yard here. We get to that other Muldrotha, we're going to be doing a lot of good there, and we're still just pushing threats while he's stuck on 4 mana here. Vraska's Contempt, expected that. At least we can just, Walking Ballista shoot this down. Like, that's That's just not going to be an issue. I want to champ really bad, but I think that I'm actually going to like champ might be the right way to go, but I want to deal with this three power in the air here. And we'll just shoot it now. There we go. Go into combat. Swing for 2 and pass. I mean, yeah, that doesn't actually, like, we had a more powerful play there, but I think just, like, keeping the board nice and clean against this cartouche deck is going to be really good. We know he still has a Trial of Ambition in his hand because we watched him put it back there earlier. So right now he's going to make us sacrifice something like a Seeker Squire or something like that. So, right. Yeah, it's harder to counter the champ. Now, I can't say that he can't counter the champ. We just seen him play a Nimble Obstructionist, which, you know, is counter target spell or ability draw a card for 3 mana. So he can counter, you know, us bringing back the champ. But I think the Walking Ballista there while it was tapped was the better play. I think that's what you meant, right, Andrew? Maybe, maybe not. Ballista while he's tapped, he can't counter the champ. Okay, yeah. Alright, so he just actually played a champion. He found his 5th mana. Blooming Marsh. I'll keep that to pitch. And then we're going to go... Oh, Lincoln. Son, go to bed. He hasn't been feeling great today. He's been upset, so he's giving his mama heck right now. Okay, well, I don't need the Blooming Marsh. Hinterland Harbor's fine. So let's get rid of Swamp, and then we'll play the Hinterland Harbor. I think I just attack here anyway. I mean, I could just shoot this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got a couple turns before he can actually do much. I'm expecting him to untap and go like the Scarab God. And if he does, then we're, you know, kind of ready for that. Him getting behind on mana was not exactly great for him. Now he's down to 2 cards, so... Yeah, Lincoln. Nightbot's scared of Lincoln. There's a Liliana. What is he bringing back? Let's check out his graveyard. So... he just makes a zombie, throws Fatal Push and some other stuff in the grave. So we will... Ooh. Let's just go ahead and get rid of Lily. And then we can Seeker Squire or cycle the Fetid Pool. I think I just want to champion again. And we'll see what we draw. I am looking for another Liliana. Oh, he's going to go ahead and scoop it up. Alright, yeah. When is the Patreon Games Mono Red deck going to roll? Hefe, the last thing I heard from you about the Patreon Games was instead of running your deck again, to run the red-black vehicles. If you want me to run it, then I will run you a mono red deck. You have me the list. Like exactly which list? Just please update me on which list, and I'll run it. Other than that, I thought that you know, just send me the list. I'll run it. Okay. Fatal Push is probably going to be pretty good here. Like, Walking Ballista is going to be great. I actually think like our main board is really good here. I would like some duress and things like that. He's got Lilianas. He's got a lot of the same cards we've got. Could even be close to the same deck we're running. Maybe we don't want Fatal Push, or maybe not as many. Like, duress is probably better. Yehini's expertise to just clean the board up is probably going to be really good. Because his deck's a lot like ours, finding any piece is going to have some synergy with ours, so... hopefully we do crush it, Jareth Miles. Hopefully we do crush it. Taking 3 cards out. I'm going to take out 1 Brontodon. I mean, we have to have our Vraska's Contempts. Seeker's Squire may not be as important. I actually don't think I want the Yehini's expertise. I want Negate. And Vraska. We're going to run like this. Muldrotha is not as good when you bring in, you know, the Negates and stuff over the Seeker Squires, but I also think that you could put a Search for Escanta or 2 in this deck and you would do very well. Okay, well, we have some Negates, we have some Duresses, we've got some things, we can do some things. I'm going to keep. I also think I'm going to turn 1 this Duress. And then that will let me know what I need to do after the fact. Now, because I drew that Champion of Wits, I could have held off there. He's got a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Never to return. I'm just going to get rid of the Liliana for now. So, we know he played his Drowned Catacombs. He'll probably end up cartouching that. So, we'll just pass. And more than likely, I'm going to have to stop this cartouche. Just take out the Punishers. They're a good kill spell, and because I took out all my other kill spells, I wanted to keep my repeatable kill spells in my creatures. I am going to negate this because it's a draw spell, and he tapped out for it. Yeah, I'm just going to negate it. I mean, we're going to be taking 3 anyway, and again, because I took out most of my other spells, I want to keep... Yeah, I like Tubes better. I do. I mentioned that earlier, that I wish there would have been 1 copy of Chupacabra in the deck. Again, I just didn't want him putting that Scrap Heap Scrounger up in the air. We don't have a lot of ways of dealing with it right now. So, you know, being able to hold off for a minute is going to be really good. Just that extra couple points of damage. Don't let him draw the additional card, that sort of thing. So he has played his Swamp and his Scrap Heap Scrounger and his Cartouche, and the only card that we know about in his hand is the Never to Return. We do need to hit land. We may end up in the same situation he was in last game, but we'll see. Come Friday, Mono Red Champion of the Flame will be your submission. Deal. Deal. I will run that deck for you for this month if that's what you're wanting. There's a Bane with Punisher. I'm going to go ahead and play it. I could have played the Champion of Wits, and maybe I should have played the Champion of Wits. Probably should have played the Champion of Wits. And we'll just put the neg 1/1 counter here and pass the turn. I still think we're going to end up like sacrificing the Bane Whip Punisher here in combat. I'm actually going to stop the Champion of Wits, which sounds funny, but that's the plan. I mean, if we end up putting the Scrap Heap Scrounger in the graveyard, he may end up having to eat it to bring it back. We just need We need a creature. Or we need land. That's what we need, land. So, play Champion of Wits. Hopefully get some lands. Champion of Wits may have been the better card to play last turn. And he did throw away that never to return. He just cast return. He eat the Bane Whip Punisher out of our graveyard. That does give him another threat there. I think I can get away with the Champion of Wits here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of a negate and a Muldrotha. And the prayer here will be to run into something like, you'd call that a punt, neg the champ, block the Scourge. Okay. I mean, I get where you're coming from there. Definitely could have done that exact thing. It would have dealt with the entire board. You're right, and then our Champion of Wits would have been able to block this zombie. So yeah, you're definitely right. Also, probably could have blocked the zombie and then played the Walking Ballista here to. You know, to a little bit better of an effect. I'm going to just play the Charter Course, and we're going to see what we can get. Hopefully we can get a land. Okay, I'll get rid of Thrashing Brontodon. We'll play our land for the turn, and just pass. I am worried about him playing something like a Liliana or something like that, so... If this is like a glimmer of genius, is he really going to eat his Champion of Wits? He did eat the Champion of Wits. That just happened. Direfleet Poisoner. We're going to be taking 6 points of damage here, guys. Ouch. Justin, ouch. 7 points of damage. Wow, we're almost dead. To the point that the Scarab God does not save us. So Vraska's Contempt will save us a turn. And that's about all we can do here. The Direfleet Poisoner getting ahead of us. Don't have negate. Don't have negate. Or syncopate. Don't have syncopate. Don't have any counterspell. To hope that he doesn't have a counterspell out of 4 cards, though, is... He's going to fatal push his own card to keep me from gaining the life, which will cause us to die. Great play by the opponent. Yeah, so... You're right, Andrew. That was definitely a punt. If I would have done it the other way, I would have still had a creature left to block the zombie. The zombie actually hit for an extra 4 points of damage there. So, yeah, that extra 4 points of damage would have mattered a lot. Okay, well, he's got a little bit more than I expected. Duress is going to be good. The negates are going to be good. But, like, if we can't kill his stuff, and we're going to have some problems. Although, Seeker Squire is probably going to be pretty good. Let's get rid of Brontodon altogether. And bring in a couple Seeker Squires. And maybe cut a chart. Maybe a Muldrotha, since I'm bringing in more... I'm bringing in so many... Yeah, I don't think we're going to, like, win with the Muldrotha this particular fight. Like, he's got a lot of answers for Muldrotha. Aether Meltdown might actually be the better play here. Just bring in all the kill. Just make sure that we can remove everything that he plays. Like, it may just be better to be on the aggressive, just kill absolutely everything. I would have to play the deck more to understand, which is the more powerful line, on the play versus not on the play. We can duress, walking ballista. We got some contempts. I'll keep. This doesn't seem like a bad hand. The mana's a little low, but hopefully we'll get there with the land. Good evening, Barry Drake. How are you doing, sir? All right, so here we go. We're just gonna start with the duress and just take a look, see just how bad it really is. We'll definitely take that search for Azcanta. Search for Azcanti. We can play something like Walking Ballista to make him use one of the Fatal Pushes or something like that. I'm not as scared of Fatal Push as I am of a search for Azcanta. I mean, playing it on 3 would have been threatening to start putting points on it on 4, so I expect him to shoot this at some point before the end of the next turn. We could stop it. So he played his swamp, and we'll just swing, see what he does. I mean, we know he's got Fatal Push, Fatal Push. Dire Fleet, Poisoner. That thing. Oh, man. So that was his draw. Okay. You got us, opponent. You got us. The Poisoners are really good. You can't wait for coffee time tomorrow. All your games were real good. Well, I got news for you, Rush. We've spent a lot of time talking about Jund in the past couple coffee times. I'm hoping someone shows up with a different deck. Why not trade? Because it was a 1-1, and you can't trade a 1-1 for a 2-2. Did I miss something there? Was I supposed to be able to trade a 1-1 for a 2-2? Is there a trick in Magic I don't know about? There's a Champion of Wits. Come on, land. His deck is very much like ours. I think that Direfleet Poisoner would be really good in a Muldrotha deck. Just because it's a creature with flash, you could actually play it on your turn. So during each of your turns, I'm pretty sure that means on your opponent's... Is it each of you? Like, you could play it on your opponent's turn, right? I'm pretty sure. Because you're on another game. Understood. Alright, so he got rid of a Fatal Push, and he played his Island. And he played that Fetid Pools. Well, it's not being great for us here. Not too great at all. What are we playing right now, or what? No flash, sadly. What do you mean, no flash? Direfleet Poisoner has flash. Flash, Death Touch. His turns aren't yours. Okay, so you can't play anything on your turn. Alright. We do need a black source off the top, just to clean the board up here. Oh, punt on my part. Major punt. Should have negated that. Should have negated that card. Oh, goodness. Goodness me, what a punt. That was a major punt. That was definitely worth my negate. Yeah, we're playing Sultai Muldrotha. Muldrotha is only your turn. So the Aether Hub's not as good, or not the Aether Hub, but the Aether Meltdown's not as good as I thought it was. If you can't play it, if you can't play it on your opponent's turn, then I mean, I guess it's exactly what I'm saying is your opponent's turn. You discuss mono red champion and whether the deck is good. Sure, anything other than Jun. Just I think we've got like probably one of the best Jun lists we're going to have. So I don't think that there's a lot more that we can do there with Jun. This is about to get bad if we don't draw some more land. Yes, I thought at the very beginning that Search for Esconta would be a very good card in this deck. Grixis Afflict. Ooh. Grixis Afflict. Send us a list for the Horde. But, I mean, I'm probably going to look at that, the mono red champion list. Ipnu Rivulet. I think I just get this down. And we'll pray we don't throw anything too important in the graveyard because he'll just make a Zambi. Just Fetid Pool's Hinterland Harbor. Now he is going to be able to flip the Search for Escanta, putting him at 6 land, or 6 mana. We know he's got that Fatal Push left. There the Fatal Push goes. 0 cards in hand. 1 Champion of Wits in the graveyard for him though, so if he top decks a land, he can bring back that Champion of Wits here. Renegade map? I could see that. Being able to play an artifact from the grave would be really good. That would be really good. I think that a Muldrotha deck would be a toolbox deck with a lot of silver bullets, a lot of 1-ofs and things like that. I was hoping that there was some kind of like 1 mana enchantment that would do like put like neg1 or neg2 on a creature, but I haven't been able to find one of those. There's not one in standard right now, I think. Traveler's Amulet. Next you guys will be saying Navigator's Compass or something. But yeah, just anything to go get some land would be really good. Lifecrafter's Bestiary. Yeah, I mean, wow, you'd be casting them from the grave or whatnot, and it probably wouldn't be too bad. We may be able to start taking back over this. I mean, I'm expecting him a cycle right here. Yep, Nimble Obstructionist. Okay, so he's just going to counter her ability, so we won't actually mill anything. He'll draw a card. I'm just going to go ahead and Vraska's Contempt. Now, we still got the point, the loyalty counter, because that was part of paying the cost. So Merfolk Trickster. It's another really good card. I like this. This is my favorite Merfolk out of the new set. Oh, what do you got, opponent? Never. Never. I'm going to go ahead and counter that. Just because I don't want him to remove something from my graveyard. I don't want him to get the zombie more than anything. So, I mean, he's got 0 cards in hand. He does have the Search for Escanta online. Maybe we'll throw away a Champion of Wits. We did not. We threw away a Vraska Relic Seeker and a Negate. I'm going to pass. I have the ability to Vraska's Contempt this Merfolk Trickster and be able to mill myself, which I'm going to do. Like that is going to be the game plan here, is to mill myself for 4 and to Vraska's Contempt this if we have to. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. He's got 0 cards in hand. I don't want him to draw another card with the cartouche. He can search for Azcanta here. I mean, he's got Search for Azcanta online. We've got Liliana online. He's got another, Never to Return in the grave. So he could just play that to eat something out of my graveyard. So I'm going to wait before I sack this Ibn Rivulet to his end phase, just so he doesn't get the option to get something. I would hate to like mill the Scarab God and then let's see what we get. We'll sacrifice the Ibn Rivulet to itself. And we get Liliana, Chart a Course, Fetid Pools, Chart a Course, Woodland Cemetery. What greatness. There's a Champion of Wits. Perfect. And we do have to do that now, or he'll just use his Never to Return to eat it. So do have to worry about that. I expect him to eat this Gonti here, or... Okay, so we can get rid of the land and Seeker's Squire. That'll leave us Duress and Negate. The only reason I keep the Duress here is because if he starts getting cards, like, this is only going to get something that we can take away with Duress. So if he... oh, man, that's going to be mean. That Liliana is going to be mean. What does he got to bring back? He's got a couple Never to Returns in the graveyard. Could have sworn one... Like, didn't we counter... Oh, we countered a Never that was actually pointed at Liliana. Oh, okay. Understood. So he's got Return. I mean, if he casts Liliana here and brings back, say, Nimble Obstructionist, then we bring back, what, Gonti? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay, so he is gonna get rid of the Gonti like expected. Which means that he can't actually cast the Liliana here, so we're just gonna Duress it out of his hand. We'll go ahead and do that now. So give us the Lily. Come on, give me the Lily. Thank you. We can... Is there any creature worth getting back? No, there is not, and there's probably not going to be after this either, unless we negate it. Like, if there's the Scarab God or something like that hits, then we'll... do I play this land or hang on to it for Champion of Wits fodder? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can go. We need to get to 9 before we really stop playing land. I will definitely try to kill his Zambi. I mean, if he wants to block, then that's fine. Trade a zombie, Merfolk Trickster. Ooh, so he's gonna put the damage there. Oh, he's just gonna block. All right, double block my champion. No, that is okay. Double block my champion, take 4 is perfectly fine with me. So we got rid of the Trickster. We eat the Liliana. He's drawn for the turn. He's got 1 card in hand. He can search for Azcanta to get a hold of something. I expect him to just, I expect that he's just using his Never to Return to probably eat something out of the graveyard. I mean, at this point, yeah, just eating the Seeker Squire. I'm just going to stop it because I don't want him to have a zombie. And then we're just going to pass, or accept his pass. Fetid Pools, I think I can cycle this Fetid Pools. Another Duress. Let's make some more zombies. More lands in the grave. Yeah, let's see what he's got. Did you next level us? No, man, he's got a trickster. Got that trickster. Alright, he's going to tap something down so I can't swing. Alright. Trickster is one of my favorite things. Yeah, opponent's starting to clock out. He's at 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And I'm still offering the trade here with a trickster. So, yeah, he's got to stop damage. Liliana herself is basically taken away with this game. Like, we've basically just used the entire game to protect Liliana. And just the pure power of Lily by herself, making her zombies. She's good. Lily is good. Ah, the clock emoji. We got there. We got a clock emoji. We got a clock emoji. I think the next emoji we're doing is a screw with a SideboardMTG head on it. You know, those of you that have thought about sponsoring or wondering what that sponsor button here is on YouTube Gaming, click that sponsor button. It's like subscribing to a channel on Twitch. It is a recurring fee, but every milestone we hit, and I think we're only like 1 or 2 away from getting another emoji. So every milestone we hit, we do get more and more emojis. So like the next one's going to be a screw for mana screw. Yeah, there you go, the mana screw. I'm going to hang on to this. He doesn't know what card it is. I don't really need to play the extra land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I do. I do need to play it. Jason Carter, thank you for subscribing. I need to play it because if we top deck the Scarab God, then we're going to need to be able to bring something back the turn, that exact turn. So, but right now the you know, Zombie Force 1 here is just doing work. You're just thinking of a Panharmonicon version with white? What? What are you talking about, Chris? I'm looking back at your other message. Let's see. Could Muldrotha use some white? I mean, you're looking at 4 colors. I'm not going to say that it's not possible because it's definitely, you know, doable. Okay, so I mean, he's got some creatures to bring back, so this could be bothersome. But if he brings back creatures, he loses Lily. What a top deck, right? Let's see what's under the hood here first. I mean, if we bring back, like, if we flip over a Champion Wits or something like that. Okay, we did not. There's a Memorial to Unity. I'm gonna go ahead and attack him. We'll contempt the Lily. I mean, our Lily's at 9. I mean, if her ultimate was worth doing, then we would definitely do it. But the opponent's going to need something really good here. Liliana just showing her power, guys. Like, she is a powerful card. There's a reason I like playing with Liliana. I've got 18 cards left, man. We're fine. We're fine. 18 cards? That's 9 more Lily activations. Okay. 5 more because I'm gonna draw a card every turn. Yeah, whatever. What do you guys think of turn 1 Llanowar Elf, turn 2 the Green Black Journey? Doesn't sound bad. I mean, Journey on the Elf. You've missed 94% of this video. Vraska's Contempt. Alright, he's going to gain some life. I can't believe he didn't just contempt the... Whatever. Let's see what we get. Let me have the Scarab God or something. Well, I'm taking the Hostage Taker because there's not a lot of other things to play. We'll go ahead and there's a Seeker Squire. I'm just going to play the Hostage Taker. It's the same amount of damage as Gonti, and I don't have anything else to do right here. So we're just going to pick up our Gonti, attack, and pass. This way, if he does decide that he's going to kill his Hostage Taker, then we just instantly get a Gonti back. It's a little bit of protection. So, Muldrotha's hanging out at the bar with your Metalwork Colossus, right? Yeah, this is a Muldrotha deck. Unfortunately, like, we don't even have a lot of permanents in the grave to bring back. I mean, we could start like playing Memorial to Folly and things like that over and over, but yeah. Well, we took out the blue-black mid-range reanimator weirdness deck there. It was a pretty good deck. I mean, he had a lot of the same spells I would like to play in a deck. Speaking of which, you put a one Journey to Eternity in your deck and helped you win the game against Black-Red Vehicles. I actually like Journey to Eternity, especially if you're running Thrashing Brontodon. I have said multiple times that if you're running multiple copies of Thrashing Brontodon, I think Journey to Eternity is great. I even believe that you should be able to put at least one in this deck. It is an enchantment that you can put on things that you can bring back with Muldrotha, things like that. So I like Journey to Eternity, and definitely think that you could get away with playing it. I'm going to keep this hand. We can just start with the Drowned Catacombs and then start following up with our Blooming Marshes and Botanical Sanctums here. So it'll still let us turn to... Okay, so the Hinterland Harbor is going to be... Yeah, I'm still going to start with the Drowned Catacombs. This way I can just do the Botanical Sanctum on 2, and then we can play our Seeker Squire. Yeah, we'll Botanical Sanctum here. Seeker Squire. We'll see if we get a land, or is this a milkshake? Is that a lantern in your hand? Or do you got a milkshake for me? Is a milkshake. Do we want to draw that next turn? Let's just put it in the grave. How's it been running? Oh man, so far so good. I mean, we just played the first game, and we beat the opponent who was running a very similar deck, just didn't have green. A lot of the same cards we're running, he's running. It was just a... No! Alright, well, let's Champion of Wits. And possibly we can get rid of some of these Hinterland Harbors. We do have our blue mana now, so... Woodland Cemetery's going to be able to... Alright, so we can go... We don't need that much green. I'll go Hinterland. All of this we can bring in untapped, so I'll keep that. We do need these because we don't have fetid pools to start bringing in the rest of our buddy lands. Cast down. Down we've been cast. Turn 4, he has missed a couple land drops. Looks like he's missed yet another. I'm just going to jump into a Gonti here. See if we can just, get rid of, like, maybe we'll hit a patch of land off the top and just, further, hurt his ability to do anything there. If we play the Never to Return, we're going to put it in his graveyard. He'll have the Aftermath effect, but we do have a Destroy spell. Fatal Push is not going to be horrible. I'm going to exile the Never to Return here. And we'll just pass. I would like to find a Liliana. I mean, this would be really good at dealing with Shade or something like that. Doomfall. Alright, well, I mean, he gets to take a card from our hand. I assume Vraska's Contempt. I mean, we don't know exactly what he's holding, so I can't believe he didn't actually make us get rid of our Gonti. Opponent playing mono black? I don't know. So far I haven't seen anything of another color, so maybe it's highly possible their opponent's playing mono black. Let's play the Champion of Wits first here, and then we'll see what we want to discard. Definitely need to keep one land. There's a fetid pool. I think I'm willing to get rid of the Brontodon right now. I'm also willing to get rid of the island because I'm going to be playing the fetid pool this turn. Now, I could have played the Woodland Cemetery and cycled the fetid pool, but the fetid pool, like, it works like the island. It's going to give me, you know, island swamp. So we're just going to start chipping in for our damage, sit back and play control. Hopefully we can do that until we get to something like a Liliana, and then once we get to Liliana, the first thing we're going to do if we resolve it, which we should because this isn't mono black, we're going to bring back that Muldrotha and make him have to have a contempt. Fox, you're not coming in, bro. He's just not coming in. Well, unfortunately, he's about to use his Never to eat our Champion of Wits because we're one land off of being able to play it. So he either puts a threat onto the battlefield or he just, well, he's going to do both. He's going to make a zombie and eat Champion of Wits here. Didn't draw a land, so he's not going to be doing it. We get Walking Ballista. I don't see a reason to not just go all out with this Ballista. We don't have anything that we really want to play here. I think when he gets a land, he's still on the plan of destroying our graveyard here, taking our Champion of Wits from the grave. Champion of Wits is like our best chance at getting to a Liliana. He may just decide that he wants to eat the Muldrotha. Ooh, it came in tapped. Do we get another chance at it? Hinterland Harbor. Got there. Okay, well, I am 100% going to do this. I mean, now if he eats the Muldrotha, I guess that's fine. He's still got to deal with what's currently on the board. He might be able to do such, though. Wow, with a land. Let's keep Rivulet. He does need to worry about what's on the board, and because we're pushing lethal next turn. There's a lot of historic cards for this deck. If Muldrotha is a toolbox of 1 and 2 of, historic might be a nice and an artifact deck with Muldrotha. It could be. I think that Muldrotha is definitely going to be that perfect toolbox, especially when you can run cards like Strategic Planning. And in a deck that can reliably pull cards from its graveyard, banning these cards or using something like Strategic Planning is never as bad as it may seem. There's a Liliana. He's got no creature to bring back, so he just played Liliana and scooped. Okay. Alright, mono black control. I'm going to take out the Fatal Pushes yet again. I'm bringing in the Duresses and the Negates. Argyle's Bloodfast might be good. I don't think I need the Bane Whip Punishers. Cut one Seeker Squire. Maybe one Thrashing Brontodon for the other Gonti. I mean, pulling his Vraska's Contempts and things like that are going to be great. So, anyone running an Urza's Ruinous Blast deck, one-sided wipe seems powerful. Yeah, but the card's absolutely horrible, Andrew. We've played it in quite a few decks in the past, and more times than not, when you're looking for that board wipe effect, you don't actually have a lot going on. So the best card the best deck I've actually seen run the Urza's Ruinous Blast was the green-white legendary or green-white toolbox deck, green-white historic, if you will. There is a green-white deck floating around, just green-white good stuff. We heard someone talking about it earlier, and it runs like Druidic Vow, and there's a ton of just 1 and 2 ofs, legendary creatures in there, and Urza's Ruinous Blast was in that deck. So, yeah, you need to have it with the gods. See, that seems good. Having it with the gods seems good. What else do we take out here, guys? We could take out 1 Walking Ballista and bring in an Argyle's Bloodfast. I'll actually take out 2 Charticourses for the Argyle's Bloodfast and the Varoska. And we're going to run like that. I need an answer to Dread Shade post board for Vraska's Contempt. Gonti. Put a blocker in front of it. Maybe we should keep Bane Whip Punisher. Maybe Bane Whip is better than Thrashing Brontodon here. I didn't think about the shade. We'll run it like this with the Bane Whip Punisher over the Thrashing Brontodon. I mean, he may end up having some Argyle's Bloodfast or something that we'll wish we would have killed, but I mean, I'm good with this hand. I think this hand's good. I thought I took out all. Okay, so I didn't get the Bane Whip Punishers in. I didn't. Oh, the lag. Lag! Okay. Alright. Here we go. What is up with that? There's something. I have just noticed this. I've got to get rid of it. There we go. I mean, we can turn 1 Woodland Cemetery, turn 2 Botanical Sanctum. I'm going to keep, though. This may be one of those games where we just get down the Brontodon and go. Okay. Yeah, we're still going to Woodland Cemetery here. We can just turn 3 the island and then turn 4 Hinterland Harbor. We do need to find... There's his Argyle's Bloodfast. He's getting there. He's getting there. Alright, well that's not going to be bad. That's not going to be bad. Let's go ahead and play ours. Brontodon may need to wait till turn 4. I kind of expect that if he doesn't have a lot of land, that he's just probably going to start, you know, using his Argyles. Guys running removal for days. Doubt that Brontodon has legs to go. I expect that if I play the Brontodon on turn 4, that we get the Argyle's Bloodfast. Unfortunately, that's my best plan. So like that's the route I'm going to take. I play the island. I have to play the swamp next turn. So let's go ahead and prepare that. I don't think that I just rush out the Brontodon here without the mana to actually sack it that turn. So I think that we play it on turn 4 and have the mana up to get rid of the Argyle's Bloodfast. If he doesn't play anything this turn, then we'll just pay 2 life and draw a card ourselves. Scrap Heap Scrounger, okay. I will go ahead and draw the card. So we'll pay 2 life, draw a card. We get a Fetid Pools. Another Brontodon. Well, let's go green, green, blue. Now we're representing a Revolted Fatal Push. Here, Brontodon can block. I mean, do we just let him keep drawing cards? I think so. Like we just block with Brontodon and then sack. I mean, he's got a ton of cards here. He's got some cool swamps. Ours are just Dominaria. Guys running removal for days. Let's see. You're back. Did you miss anything? Not a whole lot. Kind of off topic, but any thoughts on Jace Cunning Castaway possibilities after rotation? I don't really know. I actually haven't looked into a lot of Jace Cunning Castaway decks or anything like that. Retsuko as a brawl deck would be great. What would you use for your blue-black? Okay, so we're going to allow it to land. We will go ahead and sacrifice it to pop the Argyle's Bloodfast, which does mean that he gets to swing here. Now, I can Hinterland Harbor and just play another Brontodon. And we can just, like, each opponent discards a card. Like, we could just get rid of that now. But we will take some more damage. So I am just going to go ahead and do that so I don't have to discard. You'd have taken out the fast there. Tap mana, no response removal to the activation to... But, like, when he played the Eldest Reborn, we would have had to sacrifice the Brontodon. There's a Dreadshade. Okay. Scrapheap Scrounger. Alright, so... we go... Gonti. And then we just hold up Negate. Doomfall is not going to be horrible here. Yeah, I think we just hold up the Negate. So, like, if he goes to try to, like, Vraska's Contempt Arganti, then we just jump in front of it. We are going to be taking some damage here, which worries me a little bit. Definitely worries me. When he intern drew. Oh, okay. Just take it out right there to keep him from drawing a card. Or I did think about just doing it at the end of that turn, but never. We definitely need to stop that. I mean, he does have another creature in the graveyard, so if he just swings with Scrapheap Scroungers, probably just going to block one of those, and then next turn will Vraska's Contempt the Shade anyway. But Shade has got to be removed. Like we cannot leave Shade laying around. If he does swing with the Shade, though, we can Contempt it. Memorial to Folly is a good card. I like Memorial to Folly, but I hate the fact that it comes in tap. So, oh, Andrew, looks like people have missed you. Even Barry Drake saying it's good to see you here. I'm glad to have you back, man. I know you work a lot, so glad that you're being able to put a little more time into Magic again. Alright, well, blocking the shade does seem like it's going to hurt a little bit. We'll gain a slight amount of life here. Hopefully we get a +1/+1 counter. Ooh, walking ballista. So let's just go this route. Seeker Squire. Blooming Marsh. We'll just play that tapped. I mean, this is going to get bad for us. This walking ballista by itself is going to become a problem. Does he swing with everything? He does. Okay. Well, we'll move to blocks. We'll block here. Make him use his mana here to pump the ballista. And we will Vraska's Contempt a Scrap Heap Scrounger, taking us back to 8. We'll take the 3, go back down to 5, lose our Seeker Squire. Thinking we definitely flip it here. I could draw cards, but I don't think that's what I need to do. We'll play the land. We will play the Seeker Squire, and then probably just going to Doomfall. Vraska's Contempt. I'm going to leave that on top of my library. I am going to Doomfall the opponent to exile a creature he controls. So, I mean, if he decides that he wants to keep the Walking Ballista, he knows we have a Vraska's Contempt coming. So he needs to get rid of one of his cards. Getting rid of the Walking Ballista would be ideal for us. He's shooting us. I don't think he does it again. Okay, so then he just shot us for 1, then sacked. Okay, sacked it. That makes sense. I mean, we do have some decent plays here where we can sacrifice this to gain some life. We know we have a Vraska's Contempt coming. I am going to go ahead and draw the Vraska's Contempt, so maybe we can get to yet another card. I'm also going to gain to its toughness, so we'll gain 3 life off of this. And then we can Contempt that next turn. So that's going to be the play anyway. I hope it works out for us. Muldrotha off the top would be decent. Liliana, no! He can get the Shade back. He is going to get back the Shade. Let's chart a course. Walking Ballista, we'll get rid of land. We will Vraska's Contempt. Sorry, excuse me. One moment. I think we have to get rid of the Shade. I just don't think that we can get away with not getting rid of Shade. And then we'll just play the Walking Ballista for 1? That seems bad. Yeah, I mean, we're gaining a little bit of life here, so I mean, if we can get started, like a Muldrotha off the top would be so good. Marv Johnson, what's up? How's it going, buddy? We're doing all right. We're trying to fight this mono black deck, and it's proving to be very tough. Zeus's Days, hello, how you doing? Carter Braun. Nice. I thought of making Samit, but you have Azor and Beckett Brass Brawl. Okay. Azor and Beckett Brass. I'm going to take the 3 here. I think it's the proper play just to take the 3. We just need to get bigger here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, we can put 2 pumps. Oh no, not a Gonti. Not a Gonti. We need like the Scarab God off the top. I mean, we have 9 mana. What are you eating? Really? I mean, that's about the best we're going to be able to do. The Scarab God off the top would have been terrific. Didn't really get there. Let's mill ourselves. Sacrifice the desert. We're going to say yes. I mean, we can't bring back a Champion of Wits if we hit it. Negate Argyle's Bloodfast, and that's going to be game. We're dead here. Yeah, dead to the board. Yeah, killing the Lily and having the Ballista seem better. I think it was the better play, but again, I mean, he just started getting some gas right there, and there wasn't a lot we could do about it. We do know that he has the Argyle's Bloodfast. I'm not really worried about duressing him. I mean, he's got a lot of things. I mean, it seems a lot like that last deck we played. I'm actually more interested in negates. I don't even think I want my Argyle's Bloodfast. I would rather have the Charter Courses. So I'll just keep the one. Like, I'll just take out one Thrashing Brontodon and go with it like this. Maybe the Bane Whip Punisher is a better card just to be able to deal with the shade. So maybe we'll pull out the Varaskas and the Gonti and just go with the Bane Whip Punishers. He is a little bit cheaper. I know Gonti's good, but you've pulled 2 foil Muldrothas. See, that seems great. I mean, people want this card for, you know, EDH and things like that. So having some foil ones is awesome. I mean, there's some people that go, hey, you really can't play this. Yeah, he's got plenty to kill. I think that I made the mistake with going with the Duresses and thinking that he was more of a control deck than he really is. He's definitely a mono black mid-range, and just being able to kill his stuff is going to be absolutely terrific. I'm not bringing in the Duress. We've got Negate. I'm gonna try to rest on Negate's back. I mean, I could cut a Seeker's Squire and maybe a Fatal Push for 2 Duress. I could see running like that because he's not like that much on the early drops. So, I mean, I could run like this. I've got no problem with that. But I definitely want more access to Fatal Push than I've had. So, Brandon, good night, everyone. Good night, Brandon. Good night. All right, here we go. Game 3. Let's see what happens. Can we keep this madness? We've got a Fatal Push, we've got Duress. If we get to 1 land, we can Champion of Wits. I think it's good. I do. I think it's a good hand. We've got multiple pieces of action here. We can play them both on turn 2. So he's deciding whether or not to mulligan to 5. Seems great. After this game, I'm going to run grab a cup of coffee before the last game. I'll leave you guys in the capable hands of Lamp. And, yeah. You've pulled 2 foil History of Benalias, foil Karn, foil Teferi. Mythic foils seem to be more abundant than in previous sets. Well, I am glad that you are finding it to be that way, because I'm not for sure everyone has had your type of luck. Andrew said jelly. Okay, well we're getting somewhere here. Let's just go ahead and arrest this guy. We'll see what we've got to deal with. Looks like we've got an Argyle's Bloodfast coming up on 2. I definitely want to get rid of that. The other options, I'll pull those up and leave them here. Looks like he's probably going to be playing this Cabal Stronghold. He did. He's got an Eldest Reborn. We will Champion of Wits here. I mean, we can probably get ahead of these Gaunties. Oh yeah. So I'll get rid of... I'm actually going to get rid of Fatal Push right now. And then next turn we can chart a course, just start drawing cards. I mean, he could Doomfall me. If he Doomfalls me, I expect that I'm just losing Liliana. Which we're just going to chart a course next turn and just try to draw even more cards. So, I mean, if he Doomfalls, we see the Liliana. He did hit a land there, so we know what he drew. We don't exactly know what he drew last turn, though, so... we'll see if we get the Doomfall. I expect that he's drawn something a little bit aggressive on the earlier side of things. Otherwise, he wouldn't be making a lot of decisions on how to Doomfall. Maybe he is thinking, do I Doomfall this Champion of Wits, or do I, you know, Doomfall his hand? So, it is totally up to the opponent, and if he does Doomfall the Champion of Wits, it could be bad for us, but I think it's, like, keeping the Lily is going to be better. Oh wow! So we did my first prediction that he's drawn a cheap creature was the proper prediction there. I'm just gonna go ahead and play the land. Maybe that's a mistake to play the land there. So now I'm just going to chart a course, and if I don't find a Fatal Push, I'm playing the Walking Ballista and shooting this for the additional point of damage. Okay, I was going to say, why isn't this representing that it has the damage on it? No land there. I know that was a lot of pain to get rid of that, but I think it's the better play. I mean, because he's a little hurt on land. I mean, as of right now, Doomfalling our hand, which he's probably about to do, is not going to hurt that bad. Would you like a Liliana, opponent? I've got an extra. All the lilies. Thanks, Nightbot at Jareth Miles. Won first match, game 3 of the second. I wish Nightbot had a record thing, but yeah, we won our first match. This is game 3 of match 2, so here we go. I mean, the opponent's a little hurt on land here. Although if we don't, he took the Brontodon, doesn't want us to be able to get rid of the Eldest Reborn. We needed land. Guys, we needed land. Not good. Not good. If the opponent gets land before we do, he starts Gaunting, and then we are in some trouble. Trouble. Chart, of course. I'll discard a Liliana. We will play our Nagate and pass the turn. At least next turn we can... Aetherborn, really? We'll play the Botanical Sanctum. I am going to play out Liliana. And I'm going to uptick Liliana. And the main reason I'm upticking Liliana here is because I want more options for next turn. As of right now, we can Bane Whip Punisher next turn. It'll enter the battlefield. We put a -1/1 counter on the Gifted Aetherborn. Um, I think the Bane Whip Punisher is going to be the proper play here. I'm just going to block this since they're both coming at Lily. I mean, yeah, he's going to be able to eat this Gifted Aetherborn and just bring that back, which is a decent play for his mana. I mean, the fact that we're getting to Lily, though, is going to be pretty decent for us. So I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to return the Bane Whip Punisher here. And then I'm going to bring back the Champion of Wits. Blue, black, blue, 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 or black, blue, whatever. Champion of Wits. Champion. I like Champion of Wits. Great card. Draw 4 cards and discard a couple? Absolutely. We can get rid of this Bane Whip Punisher, and we can get rid of Walking Ballista for right now. This is probably about to get really good, and our poor opponent is still stuck on 3 lands. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, not looking real great. It's good in the Dev's 4-color Hapatra deck. When did Dev do a 4-color Hapatra deck? Did I miss that? Oh man, might have to check that out. You would have dropped Muldrotha thingy into the graveyard. I could uptick Lily, cast the new Lily, brought back Muldrotha. I really could, or I could just uptick Lily, play Muldrotha. Like, we've got a few lines. I don't think hardly any of them lead to us losing though. Voice to chat doesn't like Muldrotha. Voice to chat, okay. Voice to chat does not like Muldrotha. Muldrotha, maybe. Muldrotha? I think it's Muldrotha. Because, I mean, the one who created Muldrotha was Multani? So, I'll say Multani, Muldrotha. Yeah, I'm going to pronounce them like that. The flavor text here is from Multani. My child grew from rot and ruin, yet she bloomed. Muldrotha. So, as far as the blocks go, I'm just going to block here. Block here. I mean, he's got the Gonti now. Like, he's got Gonti mana. I mean, he can just scrap heap Scrounger again, but again, I expect that we're going to see the Gonti. Oh, Walking Ballista for 2. Just shoot them both. Understood. It's not horrible. And then just get rid of the Liliana while you're at it. Okay. Okay, opponent. I do have to worry now because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Never mind. We can just play Muldrotha. And then if he hits the top deck, you know, to play the Eldest Reborn, then we'll just negate it. This is going to get a little bit out of hand for the opponent. We just need to protect it for one more turn, and then this good old graveyard here becomes our playground. Let's pop this out. We know he has Eldest Reborn. We know he has Gontis. So I assume that he's going to play those this turn. If he hits that land, we will see the Eldest Reborn. Vraska's Contempt, tapping out for it. The Negate here should resolve everything here. That should That should pretty much just wrap it up. Let's see here. Can we put this... How do I make this prettier? Oh, he's just scooping. And he's like, nope, I'm done. He's done. Alright guys, I'm gonna step away for a moment, leave you guys here with Lamp, and I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. It'll take me about a minute and a half. I'm gonna crank up some good music for you, and back in a flash, guys. So enjoy the Castlevania deck or song. It's a little dark, but some of you guys seem to like this type of music. But back in just a moment. Alright, I'm back. Let me know if the music's still too loud or whatnot. This song's kind of butt. Yeah, well, there's only so many decent songs that you can even get for YouTube. So just having any songs that aren't just complete 8-bit, it's pretty nice. I'm pretty fond of that. Well, you find out what song it is on the playlist, and you can call it out when you want to. Hey, we get a Memorial to Unity here. This doesn't look like a bad hand. We've got good early play. We can get rid of what is not good. One of my favorite things about Champion of Wits is the fact that Champion of Wits will allow you to get rid of dead cards in your hand, so... I had to come back? Oh, my bad, Hefe. Lamp's time was short-lived. Man, they like you, dude. Okay, well, here we go. More land. Okay, I almost want to just play this, but the chances of drawing more of these would just, like, punish me. Although... I want this on the battlefield, so I am going to go ahead and play it. And then next turn I'll just play the Blooming Marsh. Then probably the Seeker Squire. I mean, if we end up with additional copies of fast lands here, then we can just pitch those to the Champion of Wits, so I'm okay with that. Is that too loud? To push the question, but how's the mana base working out? Seems to be working out pretty good, man. So far, so well. I mean, I minimized, can't minimize, forgot. As far as the mana base goes, it's been pretty smooth, and I think that it's going to remain that way, just because we have 4 copies of Champion of Wits. Champion of Wits by itself is just a great mana fixer, like I was just talking about. We can always just pitch some of the Botanical Sanctums. I've yet to actually have a problem playing anything. I think last game was our biggest problematic source mana, and it wasn't even a card that I needed to play, but I just didn't even have the option of playing the Brontodon on 3. So, like, there's that, but I don't think it's a problem. Like, I don't think we're having any problem with it. Oh! He just cycles a Censor instead of playing the Censor. Alright. Okay. We did get a woodland cemetery here. Another land. Okay, so we'll play the Botanical Sanctum. We'll Champion of Wits. This is a 4-color deck. Look at this. White, blue, black, green. I can pitch a Muldrotha and Forest. Like, this won't be a bad land to start playing every turn. I love the art on this. Like, the art is just awesome. Like, it's just this statue of a warrior, like, in the woods. He's going to enchant a land. Okay, so this is definitely some type of ramp deck. Alright, we'll go ahead and play a swamp. That's going to bring in most of our lands on tap. Dragon Skull Summons, Woodland Cemeteries doesn't help with the Hinterland Harbors, but we're not running as many of those. And then we're just going to get into combat. And next turn, we're just slamming things like the Scarab God and going from there. Lamp has never punted once on stream. Ignore the fact he has never Is this new perspectives? Oh my goodness. Give me a Bronzodon. I mean, if he counters it, that's fine. I expect that he has to do something with it. Although this is the turn that he goes New Perspectives in, and then we just sit back and watch him go off. If he does New Perspectives, I am going to sit back and watch him go off because there is a natural fail rate. So here we go. Show me what you're working with, opponent. Can you do it all right now? I mean, since it's a New Perspective, should I be working the clock a little bit more? I mean, just spamming one would work his clock a little bit more, because he doesn't just get the instant. Now he's got to be curious at why I've done what I've done. Wow, he's got a Razakap's right in there. Okay, so he's Sheffet Monitor. Razakap's right. Search your library for a card, put the card in your hand, then shuffle your library. It's got cycling. It's not horrible. It's a good way to just go get the New Perspectives if you need it. I expect that he can just go off here. There's the Shadow of the Grave. That'll give him most of these cards back. Let him go through it all over again. Let's see what he does. I mean, like I said, there is a natural fail rate to New Perspective, so we are going to let him play it out. So, Scars of Mirrodin, have some of your favorite land. I agree. I mean, each set has some pretty lands in it. Like, we have some great artists that work for Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering, things like that. It's just phenomenal artists. Therese Nilsson's one of my favorites. John Avon. Matter of fact, the eyeballs on Lamp back here are John Avon lands. Just John Avon Mountains. It makes it look like he has eyebrows. Right? I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I just thought it looked good. All right, opponent. I mean, so far we haven't actually killed much of his time. We've killed about a minute of it. So, your favorite set was Alara Block? Alara Block. Did you even play back then, Horde? Like, I didn't play during Alar. I wanted to play Shards of Alar, but I didn't get to play Shards. Rob Alexander's your favorite? I think I like most of John Avon lands. I think if I was going to have to pick like a favorite artist, there's some John Avon lands out there that are just absolutely awesome. There's just one swamp. I'll even show it to you guys after the game here. But there's a swamp that it's like this underground thing, and it reminds me of Menzo Berenson. I don't know if you guys are fans of Tritz de Arden or Robert A. Salvatore, Bob Salvatore, Forgotten Realms Drow series. Phenomenal reading. There's like 13, 14 books. But anyway, like, it's just one of his swamps. It just reminds me of like just being in Menzo Berenson, and I know that you would actually have to. Okay, he's got his win con here on the board now. Only 14 cards left in the library, so I mean he's going to have to start doing some stuff here, or he's not going to have enough to. I think we've hit the natural fail rate. We'll see. Like I said, these decks do have a natural fail rate, and I mean he's down to 12 cards in the library and is not actually doing damage yet. If he gets to 9 cards in the library, we're gonna be. I mean, he can also just like he's got 30 cards in hand, so he can just start doing all of this stuff with it on the stack, and get down to 0 cards in the library, and then start doing damage to us. So, I mean, there are some possibilities here. But the more this goes on, the more I'm thinking that we may be hitting his natural fail rate here. Remember, never scoop to New Perspectives. They may beat you, but it is really hard. So, R.A. Salvatore and Dritz and his companions. I expect that the CO actually is talking about the companions of the hall. Absolutely, just phenomenal reading. Oh, you think he's gonna cast Approach? He's not producing white mana. I don't think he actually has Approach. I think that his plan is Faith of the Devoted, and he can get there. He has started to do some damage to us. So Faith of the Devoted could get there. He is going to need to probably do most of this on the stack, though. So, all right. So yeah, he's just gonna. Seven cards left in his deck. He does have the mana here, though. So he's going to untap. He's making more. I mean, at this point, he could actually untap. If he can produce enough mana here. If I was him, I would have already cycled down to the end of my deck, gotten every card in it. I'm not for sure that he played this outright. I mean, I think that he's going to be able to get there, but I think that he should have thinned his deck getting more lands on the battlefield by cycling his monitors before he started doing this, creating more mana. And getting more permanents down on the battlefield. I mean, I could be wrong, though. I mean, it looks like he's going to get there. I mean, he's got the mana, and he can definitely cycle, and he's cycling with it on the stack, so he's not letting this stuff resolve. So it looks like he's going to get there. Yeah, he's got the mana. New Perspectives, guys. It happens. There's a problem with New Perspectives. Alright, so I'm getting rid of the Fatal Pushes and the Duresses. I'm also going to get rid of anything else that is really just meant to destroy the opponent or the opponent's creatures. most of the new Perspectives decks don't even have anything in the sideboard. So I'm just going to bring in pretty much everything that can just destroy new Perspectives. I'm even going to take out the Vraska's Contempts for Morganti, and probably going to leave in this this Walking Ballista here. What? You guys are so far behind. We've got Duress, we've got Gonti, we've got Negate. I've taken out all kill at like everything, and now we're just going to hold up Negate and see if we can stop him. GIY at your LGS. Oh, guy at your LGS plays this, really annoying. It is annoying for the opponent, but for the guy actually playing it, he's having a lot of fun. He sideboards out and transforms his deck. Yes, you can Lost Legacy New Perspectives. You can Lost Legacy anything but an artifact. So. Nagate. What's up, Poopy? Nagate. Connor, stream seems like the delay is 3 minutes. Make sure you are live, sir. You may or may not be live, so just click the live button and see if you can catch up there. Philip, nope, not Philip Ramos. Connor. So in 3 minutes, when you hear this, Connor, click that live button and catch up. Okay, here we go. We live, baby. Seeker Squire. I've got a couple turns to draw the negate. Sure. Here we go. I expect that he brought in. That's the one, Erickson. Erickson. We'll hold off on the Hinterland Harbor till later. I'll just start with the swamp, and we'll go from there. We'll just turn 2 Seeker Squire. Hopefully we'll get a 1-1 counter on it and just start beating. Would like to be able to do, you know, something ASAP. Should have played the Botanical Sanctum. I get that now. Definitely should have. We got another land. The Botanical Sanctum would have meant that this wouldn't have been so punishing. There's a Duress. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, let's see what he has. Oh, he's got Duress, Gift of Paradise, Haze of Pollen. Well, I'm not worried about Duress. I want to take his Gift of Paradise. Now, the reason I took the Gift of Paradise over the New Horizon is New Horizon puts a +1/1 counter on target creature, whereas Gift of Paradise is going to give him 3 additional life, and if we can stop life, then I would like to do that. Is 3 Karns too much? For what? Like, I've seen so many decks run so many more Karns than that. I'm going to play the Gonti here. Brian M, thank you for subscribing. We get a Shefford Monitor, we get a Sensor. There's our counter spin. Oh man, talk about making somebody scoop. When you counter their combo piece with their own card. He scooped! He just scooped anyway, didn't hit a land, said, alright, we're getting into the next game. We've seen his hand, I don't think he's transforming his sideboard much here. So, yeah. Brian, what up, dog? Good enough for 2, good enough for 4. What? Right? Like, Karn's a great card. I do think that Karn is one of those cards that the more powerful the deck that you put him in, the more powerful he's going to be by himself. He also fits well into some of the weaker decks that are just full of artifacts, and then you're actually using his negative ability, just ticking down. But I think Karn is great. I'm going to mulligan this hand. Yeah, sure, this is great. I'll keep it. Ooh, yeah, I'll put that on top, too. I mean, double duress is going to be decent for us. So we'll just Fetid Pool, pass a turn. Next turn we can like Botanical Sanctum, duress, and yeah. So yeah, Botanical Sanctum, we'll duress, see what happens. Alright. We definitely want to take the new perspectives here. We could take the Faith with the Devoted. I doubt he's got many other ways to win. I'm going to take the Faith of the Devoted. Yes, I did that. I did that, and he scooped. It's his only win con. Yes! Turn 2. Duress. Over. Gotcha. Gotcha. Woo! How about that? How about that? Yeah, well, I figured he didn't have a lot of win cons, and taking Faith was, man, that was brutal, wasn't it? Like, ouch. Ouch. Got him. Got him. That was good. Wow, that was good. Sorry, New Perspectives. But, catch me outside. What? Catch me outside. All right, guys. Let's talk about the Muldrotha deck. Man, a lot of fun. I think that if you're going to be playing these Muldrotha decks, you're going to need the milkshakes, and Champion of Wits is that milkshake. Seeker Squire, highly underperforming card. I don't think we actually needed the lands when we did play it. He's running 27 land in this deck. I do not think that's a bad idea, because you know that you're wanting to go to 20. You know that you're wanting to go to turns 5 and 6, and reliably you're wanting to cycle some of these lands and things like that. If you wanted to run 26, you could probably get away with that. I would probably just cut like a Blooming Marsh or a Botanical Sanctum. They're some of the weaker cards in the deck. Flawless victory, right? But Seeker Squire seemed to be the weakest card in the deck. So I do think that if you're going to make any changes, Seeker Squire is where I would start. We didn't run up against red decks or anything like that, so this was pretty good, guys. Like, I'm glad that we're not on budget lists this week, so we're getting to play with some power. We actually have cards. We're not being outclassed, and that's very important. At least when you're trying to brew, at least build tryhards. Tryhard decks are decks that have some of the best cards in the game or in here. Why not the higher green commitment for Branchwalker? Branchwalker was purposely left out of the deck for Seeker Squire. I think if you're going to run Branchwalker or Seeker Squire in this deck, that it should be Seeker Squire. Just because of the high land count here, we're more than likely going to be getting a land more often than getting a counter. And if you are running the Merfolk Branchwalker, then you're just losing to the Goblin Chain Whirler, and I think that that's going to be really bad for you. I mean, we're okay with losing Champion of Wits and things like that, as we want those to be in the graveyard anyway, but losing our blocker or something like a Seeker Squire is just not where we want to be, and having that 2 toughness is just really, really good. So Seeker Squire is really great against red deck. We didn't actually run into many red decks, so I also think that in hindsight, that Seeker Squire... okay, I was actually getting to that. Search for Esconta would be really great. Seeker Squire is going to be like one of your first outs. I do think that, like, if I was going to make any changes, I would probably cut a Chart of Course and a Seeker Squire right off the bat. And Search for Esconta would be one of the first cards that I would put into this deck. I think that would be the first change I would make to this deck before I did anything else. Just throw these 2 Search for Escontas in there. I think they're going to make a huge difference. The other change that I would make would be a Chupacabra. I think that one of these Bane Whip Punishers could just be a Chupacabra very easily. I know that it's hard to discard, like hard to get rid of your Chupacabras and things like that, but I do think that Chupacabra does belong in here. And then there's, what is Torgar? Oh, I can't think of his name. But he's the big demon. He's like a 7-something, but you can cast him, like you sacrifice some of your dudes to cast him cheap or something like that. I think that he would also fit in the deck very well. Just being able to cast him over and over again does seem really, really good. But as far as like just immediate changes that I would make to the deck, I think these are the only changes I would really make. I would like to see a Ravenous Chupacabra in the deck somewhere, so maybe splitting one Bane Whip, one Ravenous Chupacabra. Having Search for Azcanta in the deck would be really, really good. If you didn't want to run it like that, you could possibly put, Search into the sideboard or something like that. But remember, Search is a milkshake. It can bring your boys to the yard, and it can get you all the cards that you need. Torgar, 8/8, reduce casting costs by 2. Yes, that guy. Let me. Did you spell it right? I hope you did, because I'm copying you. Here we go. What did I get rid of? The Search for Azcanta. Where's Torgar? I think it's 2 A's. There he is. It is 2 A's. I think that Torgar fits in the deck somewhere. Journey to Eternity could easily fit into the deck as well. I think that a Journey would probably fit in the sideboard. Like, if you're going to run the Search for Azcantas, you can probably get rid of one of the Argyle's Bloodfast. I think that Search for Azcanta is going to be a little bit better. Remember, it is a milkshake. There's no I, Poopy. There's no I. He was close. He just needed another A. Torgar, Famine Incarnate. It allows you to sacrifice cards like Gonti, allows you to sacrifice cards like Ravenous Chupacabra to be able to get him down cheaper. Also, when you know there's something like a Vraska's Contempt or something like that coming, Torgar is just really, really good. And if they have to keep answering Torgar, and you just keep casting it, he's a huge threat. It also gives us another nice threat against Carnage Tyrant. So like I think that you could fit a Torgar in the deck somewhere. And because we have the Search for Azcantas in the main board, I would probably just put Torgar here in the side. He may not be perfect in the side, but I think that you could do that. The only other change that I would make is maybe put a Journey to Eternity in the deck somewhere. I don't know exactly where I would put that Journey. I think that Search for Azcanta is probably a little bit better than Journey to Eternity, but anytime you're running Thrashing Brontodon or something like a Bane Whip Punisher, I think that Journey to Eternity is a really, really good card, because one of the interactions with Thrashing Brontodon is you can pay 1 mana to target your own Journey to Eternity, and then Thrashing Brontodon will be sacked to pay for the ability to target. Well, upon sacking, Thrashing Brontodon and Journey to Eternity will go to the graveyard, come back, and Bernstein Bears. It's the Bernstein Bears all over again. Anyway, like you can target your Journey to Eternity. It goes to the graveyard, comes back, and all before it can actually destroy the first one or destroy the Journey. So with the ability on the stack, you get back Thrashing Brontodon, you flip your Journey. It's just really good interaction. So you can also do the same with Bane Whip Punisher. But yeah, there is an madness. There is an what? I'm confused. Bantu might be decent as a one of. Bantu might be pretty good. There's an N. I don't get what you're saying, Hefe. Either way, guys, the deck ran really well. We come up against some pretty interesting decks that it looks like some people are trying. Those typos, Hefe, those typos, right? But Brontodon's a really good card. I think the entire deck ran really well. Yeah. Brontodon and Search for Escanta, super cool tricks. Yeah, Brontodon, Search for Escanta's got some super cool tricks. We've got Brontodon and Journey to Eternity is where the super cool tricks are really at. Just being able to bring Brontodon back is great. Getting multiple cast and stuff on him. He wasn't really bad even when we did take him out against a blue-black deck that didn't have many enchantments in it and stuff, but it was really good. That was a lot of fun to watch. You're always happy to catch the live stream. Welcome new subscribers for for the heal. Our stream ball is going to heal back up. All right. Well, thank you very much, Barry. I appreciate your support as always, sir. Guys, I hope you had fun with this deck. Deb's on a competitive week this week, so we should be playing some more competitive decks that have a little bit more powerful lines to them, that have more powerful plays, and hopefully we can win a little bit. So please check my Facebook when I get off. Lincoln dipped my phone in coffee the other day, so I haven't had like my contacts like close to me. So yeah, I haven't been checking Facebook very much, but I'll check it. We'll catch you guys later. Stick around for the credits, and as always, guys, I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. We'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. And remember, if you want to play the deck, manatraders, Sideboard MTG 15, save 15% on your first 3 months. Great way to play these $300 decks, guys. Oh no, Poopy Fatty's taking him down. It's a little punch. You want Mike Tyson punch out? All right. Confessions of Little Mike. I think that's the one, right? I think this is it right here, guys. Ooh, the counter hill. Guys, have fun. We'll see you next time.